Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. This is a diagnostic information education session for everybody. This is Luke's vehicle. We did an inspection on it for him, so all part of that inspection is to provide this information and show you guys so you know what all these readings are. This is really important to watch because there's a whole heap of people with 150 Prados and later Hiluxes, and the diagnostics are totally different. Say for example you've been watching our diagnostic playlist and these videos magically have been in there in some sort of chronological order or whatever, and you've seen David's diagnostic and you've seen Andrew's diagnostic, and now you'll see Luke's diagnostic. And this is a 2013, 14, whatever, same thing, system, the engine, the injectors, and it's got the same 5-speed auto as the Prado's got, okay? Only the later Hiluxes have got that. So they've all got, you know, if you've got the earlier Hilux with a different auto, they've got different load readings and stuff like that. Let's get the engine started like we do. Alright, just take note quickly what the load reading is, and then we'll just go and have a look at the individual feedback values, because when it's cold, that's about the only thing that I'm really interested in looking at. And I'm not going to see much, as I already mentioned earlier, that you know, we're not going to see much in the diagnostic on this vehicle, not because it's only done, you know, 97,000 Ks. It's also, and you can just have a look so we know the vehicle, right, in case there's any 97762, right? These injectors need to be replaced by recommendation based on time and kilometers, based on averages, because you often see a lot of this. This is going to look like a new set of injectors. Now obviously we've got a cold engine, so first thing we're going to do, I'm just going to back out of the workshop a little bit, because we like to keep that tailpipe out the door so that we don't get dieseled out. Now let's take a quick look. Let's go back to the start and then we'll warm it up and finish off the video with warm readings. No point looking at the load because the engine's cold. However, notice how low it is already. Right, pretty cool. Coolant temp at the moment is 40. Let's go back to those other readings. We'll just quickly buzz through how good they are already, even with a pretty cold engine. Injection volume around 8. Now, on the other vehicles I said normal is around 6. Now on a Prado 150 with a 5-speed auto, this is about the readings you get when they're warm. So maybe this is going to be the same, maybe it's different. Pilot 1, Pilot 2, on these you're going to see something like what you're seeing now, about the 440, 450. It may go down a little bit, but notice how consistent the main injection period is. Just take a look at that for a minute. Yeah, it went down near 5, but it's mainly what, 550, 600? A lot steadier. The main injection is the one that jumps around a little bit compared to the other two. And let's take a look at the timing while the engine's cold as well. Now, I think what we should do now is warm it up and then we will continue the video. Okay, here we are, same car, same day. Quick drive. We like to drive them while they're still cold as well, to have a bit of a listen to see if everything sounds normal, because that's another part of the case we're going to make against the injectors. And it was quite rattly, but Hiluxes are. It's a Hilux. They don't have as much insulation. It's a commercial vehicle more than a luxury vehicle. That's probably part of it. The cover over the cover, you know, a few things like that. But take a look at what we're looking at here, right? So the load on a, so let me just give you some statistic without trying to confuse you too much. You need to watch all the diagnostic videos to get your head around this. It took me years to remember with all the different Prado, Hilux, auto, manual, this auto, that auto. There's a lot of variables, okay? With this 2013, 14-ish full DLC injectors, in pretty good condition as far as diagnostics go, and we know the injectors will be pretty good at these sort of Ks, 97,000. The only problem can be contamination. If the pipes have been removed, bent back, and contamination to the injectors at say the 40 or 80,000 K service, that is a risk there. But notice the load is around the 13 mark. Now, with the 150 Prados, the most common load reading is 14.9. It can be 14.9, 15.2. We also see readings like this on some of them, and we sometimes rarely see 17 and stuff like that. That's okay. So it's a bit like if the 120 Prado, if 12 was okay, 13's okay, 14's all right, 15 start saving, 16's replace them. Well, it's kind of like, you know, 14's okay, so add about 2 or 3. 14's okay, 15's okay, 16's all right too, 17's pretty good, 18 or not, 18's start saving, and 19's replace them. Okay, and it could be the same with these, but we haven't seen enough of them to know exactly what they do. So we're going to put all this information, right? And that's why we've recorded this right now, and it'll go into the diagnostics videos for anyone that wants to gather data and have a look at those. Now let's have a look at the injectors hot, all the individual, all the everythings, right? Injection volume down to around 6. So on a 150 Prado, it's a little bit higher than that. So the Hilux with a 5-speed auto, it's a little bit lower than the Prados usually are. By the looks of it, around a mid 6 or 7. So there's nothing wrong with that. The next ones we want to look at is the feedback volume, 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals. Nothing wrong with that. Keep looking now. Full temperature, remember? We're at full temp now. So 450, 460, give or take. They're nice and even, consistent, that's good. The main injection period. Sometimes when they warm up, they can get more jumpy than they're hot. And that can concern me, especially going down that low and stuff like that. So, and there was a bit of rattles. It was rattling a bit. It is a Hilux, so we've got to be careful. They are generally noisier. Okay, generally they're noisier than, sorry, that was me. Generally they're noisier than the Prados, generally. They do have a bit of a rattle through them, so we don't want to be worried about that and replacing the injectors prematurely. But we've had a number of vehicles at these sort of Ks where they've had the rattles, and we're quite confident that it's probably contamination from those valve clearance checks that weren't required. You know, waste of time to wreck the vehicle. I'm not worried about this vehicle. It drives well, but there's a slight chance that it's a bit noisier than they normally are, and there's a slight chance there could be something going on, but I don't think so. Okay, let's take a quick look further down and have a look at the timing, so you know what that normally is, right? This is all readings what I'd consider normal, but like I said, it's hard to know. Every Prado, Hilux engine, different combination, varies slightly, and that's why we're looking at it. But I'd consider this fairly normal at the moment. We'd like to see more of these Hiluxes that have done 100, 50 to 150,000 Ks on original injectors, that have got the 5-speed auto behind it, so that we can see what those ratings are and compare what's normal. And of course, once we do replace them, for the people that want the injector job done, complete, and done right with all the right parts and workmanship, then we'll do this again. We'll make a video and we'll take note. All these videos go in the diagnostics playlist. So on our channel, you look on playlists, got a number of headings there for you to look at whatever subjects you want to look at. And when we have time, we go through and we put those videos in there. So they might not all be in there, but what's in there should be relevant to the topic heading above it, e.g. playlist diagnostics. So it should be all diagnostic videos, and all the information in all the videos should be pretty well relevant. Okay, so you've got to see, we've got a little recording snapshot of, or more than a snapshot, a video shot of the injection there. Whoop, sorry, you get that? Just went like that, whatever. Right, these things happen. We're going to go back to the, just back to the load for a minute and see if it's changed. Look at that. It's up around the 14.5%. That's why you've got to spend a bit of time with these things and maybe check them more than once. But my best recommendation is to replace them as a recommendation. And at the moment, subject to, maybe a cold test some other time to have a listen to it. But I think I've heard enough. I think it's okay. They do make some noise. I don't want to say you need a set of injectors and then it's no different, because it's an expensive job. The readings look good, the kilometres, their DLCs. Let's roll with it for now. But the client, Luke, if you're concerned about the rattles or whatever the case may be, and you want to spend the $3 or so grand, whatever it is, $3 or $4 grand, and do injectors and EJAR cleaning and all these sorts of relevant works, because the vehicle is about 7 or 8 years old, and we've demonstrated earlier in other videos. I think it was whose diagnostic was that? David's diagnostic. It doesn't matter how many Ks it hasn't done. It's often by time, okay? The injectors don't like sitting around, okay? Anyway, I think that's about it. This is Luke's Diagnostic. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of it. Please give us the like button. Everybody, please, so we know we're doing the right thing, trying to share the information. And if you haven't already, subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss out on the next bit of the important piece of information in the million-piece jigsaw puzzle. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.